The last is enumerated powers. Article 1, Section 8 of the U.S. Constitution describes the list of powers that the federal government has. I actually reread it last night because I didn't want to get this wrong. I've read it several times, but I reread it last night. There is nowhere in the enumerated powers that it says the federal government can force you to buy what it thinks is the correct insurance policy.
Yes!
Well, why is it that so many people are angry today? Why is this Tea Party movement catching the imagination of people all over the country? I think it's because we have a sense that there's work to do. We're here today because our nation has work today. We're here today as those regulators were 240 years ago because we're tired of dealing with a corrupt and incompetent government. Our taxes taken and then wasted. All right, but what are we for? What is it that we're for? What is it we're trying to accomplish? What are we not trying to block? I think the answer is we're really only for the American dream. The American dream is if you work hard, you'll succeed. And hard work multiplied by merit will bring you success beyond your wildest dream. We're losing the American dream, folks. We're losing that sense that hard work is going to result in success because of taxes, because of regulations, and because of choices that are dictated to you by bureaucrats you never got to elect. Well, in 1831, well after the creation of the American Republic, a Frenchman named Alexis de Tocqueville published a book called Democracy in America. And in Democracy in America, he described why it was that America had a special spirit. And the reason was what he called voluntary private organizations. And what he thought was America had so many different clubs, so many different organizations, so many organizations like this where a group of people are spending their time trying to make a difference, that they were willing to spend their own time to do it. He didn't see that happening in Europe. He didn't see that happening in France. And the reason is what he saw was that the state, relying on the state, displaces our sense of being powerful. Suppose you see a neighbor who's being beaten up, and you look out the window and you say, you know, the state should do something, instead of going to help. Or suppose you see a school that doesn't work. You say, well, the state should do something. Look, I got news. The state doesn't have any money. The state has no energy and no money except that which we give it. Why don't we do it ourselves? Tocqueville foresaw what had already happened in France and what I'm afraid is going to happen in the United States. The people become powerless if they do not learn to voluntarily help one another. That's what we have to be afraid of. I spent the last 4 months in Germany. I want to tell a brief story about that time in Germany, about the way I think we're starting to talk past each other. Now, if any of you have ever been to Germany, have you ever been to a grocery store, in order to get a shopping cart, you have to put a euro in a little slot in order to get it unchained. Now, here in the United States, if you go to the Kroger, you see perhaps an elderly woman walking towards the store and she's bringing back her grocery cart. I would normally walk up to her and I'll say, I'll take that for you, ma'am. And she'd say, thank you. She didn't have to walk all the way back. Well, see, I didn't know about the euro thing, which meant that in order to get her euro back, she had to take it up and turn it in to get her deposit. So I saw an elderly woman walking towards the store, and I pantomimed. I don't speak any German, but I with my hands, I said, ma'am, I'll get that for you. And she dodged left, and then she dodged right. And you know, she had on old lady shoes, but she was pretty quick. I had the angle on her, though. So I grabbed the shopping cart, and she starts screaming like crazy. And then the police came. As well they might. I mean, as far as they knew, I was trying to steal a euro from an old lady. So the policeman comes up, and I'm a fairly big guy, but the policeman was a little bit bigger than I am, and started to speak to me in German, and I said what I say about 4 times a day when I was in Germany. I said, look, I'm sorry, I don't speak German. So he said, what are you doing? What are you doing taking this from an old lady? And so I explained to him, look, I'm from the United States, and I'm an idiot. I don't actually know. I don't know how this works. And so he says, oh, I see. Okay, but, well, wait, there's a problem, isn't she? She's still looking. And I looked, and she was peeking out from behind a concrete pillar to see what was going to happen. And so the cop starts to yell at me. And he says, "You have to understand, she doesn't speak English. And so if I do this for just a minute, we're done here." I get the sense that the Obama administration gets the same sense that they can put something over on us. When we say, look, we've got problems, they'll just have somebody come in and yell for a minute and it'll all be okay. What we need to do is concentrate our own efforts on making sure that our government does the right thing, because we own our government, not the other way around. We own our healthcare system, not the other way around. So as we said before, it begins today. Thank you all for coming and thanks for listening. Thank you, Dr. Munger.
My lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee,
It's already mine.
across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, sing it with me now, that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.